Amar lahem, this is Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, asking of his students, Tze'u ure'u ezohi derech tova sheidbak ba ha'adam. Come and look to find out what is the right path, the good path that a person should follow. And 5 different answers are provided by 5 different students. Perhaps you've heard this one before. Rabbi Yossi says, be a good neighbor, a shachen tov. Rabbi Shimon says, haro'eh et hanolad. Sorry, I'm finding this section hard to read. Okay, Rabbi Eliezer omer ayin tov. Rabbi Yoshua omer chaver tov. You should have a good, you should be a good friend. Rabbi Yossi says, no, you should be a good neighbor. Rabbi Shimon omer haro'eh et hanolad, somebody who can anticipate what will happen in the future. And Rabbi Elazar says the most important way that one should cling to, the way one should be in the world, is to develop a lev tov. For those of you who are still sipping your morning coffee, the gematria of lev and tov is the pinning of this teaching. So anybody that has the numerical equivalences in their brain want to tell me lev? 32, what about tov? Tet is 9, vav is 6, 9 and 6 is 15, plus 2 is 17. I can't hear. 17 plus 33 is? With gematria, we play a little. 17 plus 32 is 49. Okay, thank you, Deborah. That's very nice. And what does the Bnei Yissaschar have to say about this? What is so significant about a lev tov that the teacher says all of these other characteristics get subsumed by this? He says cultivating a lev tov is a prerequisite for getting the Torah. One more piece. If you count, I don't make this up, if you count from the first words of the Torah, Bereshit, bara Elokim, et hashamayim, ve'et ha'aretz, ve'aretz et tova, bo, etc., guess what the 33rd word is? I checked, I did this, and I trust Nehemiah, we counted. Guess what the 33rd word is in the creation story? Tov. So with gematria, there's always wiggle room of 1. I've been told sometimes 2, but by looking at the 33rd word when one counts, that word is tov. And the Bnei Yissaschar says that the original tov of the creation of the world is what we're always trying to access when we go about our lives. And if creation of the world is the beginning, our ultimate fulfillment of goodness is through receiving of law, the Torah. Now, he says this is an important teaching for Lag BaOmer, specifically today, though he doesn't explicitly talk about Lag BaOmer. I'm filling in right now a piece of that gap. In our tradition, one of the things we commemorate on Lag BaOmer is that for one day, the students of Rabbi Akiva stopped dying. Now, it's hard to read that the reason that one explanation the Talmud gives for the deaths of those students was that they didn't treat one another with respect. It wasn't that they were dying because they were teaching the wrong halacha, or they were not respecting Rabbi Akiva's teachings or teaching against him, but it had to do with interpersonal stuff. That somehow in their learning didn't transform them. Somehow they hadn't cultivated, this is my jump, the lev tov that becomes so core to what it means to be in relationship with others. Svirat HaOmer through Kabbalistic study is not only the count from the barley harvest to the wheat harvest, it's an opportunity each week to tap into a different part of ourselves and to accessing a different part of the divine. So we are 33 days into the 49 days of this count. In what ways are we channeling all of these teachings about developing good eyes, becoming good friends, being good neighbors, anticipating future needs and not only waiting for something to break down? And also, how do we tap into that ultimate goodness that exists sometimes buried, or maybe it's more accessible to you, but that goodness that we try to tap into that exists long before we were created and will outlast us. So may this moment, as we're like at the 2/3 mark, be an opportunity to remind ourselves of the characteristics that we hope to continue to cultivate so that we can be recipients of the divine presence and the divine law on Thursday night in 2 weeks and 2 days. Have a good day.